Hey everyone, just a reminder on how to post and assign things for kids in Google Classroom. Now, just a reminder that as teachers, we want to always work out of classwork. Stream is solely for announcements, but anything that we're posting for students to see as far as materials or activities that we're assigning, we want to do out of the classwork tab. So once you're in here, this is what it looks like. You want to go to create. Now, you have a lot of options here, okay? Topics are just going to be these overall topics up here for you to organize things. So if you need to create topics to house different activities under, that's what that is. Reuse post is exactly what it means. It's just you're reusing a post and you can just recopy it and put it somewhere else. A material is what we want to use when we want students only to view materials, not to actually interact with it, but just to view it. So you can put a title, you can put a description, you can choose the topic you want it to go under, okay? Now you can either add the material from your drive, a link, a file that you can attach, or a YouTube video. You can also create, okay? And you can see here, if you click on create, you have options here of things to create with. Again, whatever you choose, a material is view only for the students. Then you would hit post when you're ready. Now remember that you also have the option of scheduling it to go out at a certain time or saving it. Now you cannot schedule if you are assigning to more than one class. So if I'm assigning to more than one of my class schedule, you'll see will go off the table. I no longer have that as an option. Okay, so if that's the case, I would just save it and then you can post it at the right time for each class. Okay, I'm going to click out of here. Now your other option would be if you want to assign stuff to students so that they each have their own copy to turn into you, and then you can grade them separately. So for that case, we'd want to go to assignment. Now here, we can put a title, and we can put the instructions, and again, we can add whatever we want them to work on, because what we're going to do is we're going to make a separate copy for every student so that your template, your master copy, does not get touched. You can also create, like I mentioned before. So for instance, I can create directly from here. So it's creating a Google Doc. You can see it's going to open up. I can put in name, and then they can add their name, answer. Obviously, this is a very basic one. But by doing that, I can name it practice for assigning in Google Classroom, okay? And by doing that, I can now come back in, okay? And it'll update, so don't worry about that. But instead of just being able to view the file, what I want them to do is not edit, because that means they're gonna edit my template, okay? That means I'm giving them access to my document. I don't want that. I wanna make a copy for each student, okay? Now, I can go in and I can change the points to whatever. It's 25 points. Or you can go ungraded, you can put due dates in, you can put the right topic, you can assign it, you can schedule it, you can save it, etc. Okay? You can also, so if you want them to be able to see a material and complete an activity for points, you can put that in the same post. So what I can do is I can add something from my Google Drive. Okay, so let's say I want them to be able to look at a workbook. Okay, and I'm posting this here from Spanish. Okay. I'm going to keep this one that they're looking at as view only, but I'm assigning the answer sheet to them. That way it's all in one place. They can view what they need to view, and then they can do what they need to do. Okay? Now, originality, down here it says check plagiarism. You'll notice that right now our district does not have this feature added on. So it's going to tell you that you only have 3 assignments with originality reports. It's like turnitin.com, okay? Don't use it unless you want to, because you only have 3 assignments that you can use until the district decides they want to add that. So we'll go ahead and cancel that. Okay, you can add a rubric, etc., and then you just hit assign. All right, now the last thing, well, two last things you have here is quiz assignment. This is if you want to just create a Google Form quiz right inside of Google Classroom, and then the grades will automatically go into the Google Classroom gradebook. It'll do that as well from another assignment, so you don't have to worry about that. But if you just want to create it in here, quiz assignment just means you're creating a Google Form quiz assignment directly in here, okay? The question is really neat. You can ask a question, which are better, dogs or cats? I can ask the question. I can set this to multiple choice or short answer, either way. I can give them instructions, blah, 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 blah. I can attach things that I want them to read. Maybe it's an article that I found, so I'm going to attach it about which make better pets or whatever, right? I can try and sway them in either direction, okay? Or give them materials to make their own decision. I can assign points. Let's say I want to make it 10 points, okay? Set a due date, set the topic, and then I want to make sure that I check here. Students can reply to each other. If I want them to be able to put their own answer in and then respond to each other, I'm going to keep that checked. If I want students to be able to edit their own answers, I'm going to check that. You can always uncheck either. If you just simply want them to answer the question, uncheck both of them. Again, you can ask it, or you can schedule, or you can save it. So I hope that gave you a good idea of what you can do as far as assigning and or posting materials for students inside of Google Classroom.